He's ambitious. I think his path, his motives is status.
Their conversations was hardly ever about how they felt about each other. All their
Right.
conversations was about him trying to stop her from being so mean to Eva.
I think him and Kat are going to stay together, and I think they're going to be together forever, and I think they're going to be fucking miserable. I knew there was something shady about him, and he has shown his true colors numerous times. I think he's always going to choose status in these situations as opposed to maybe how he really feels, aka Kat over Eva.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is that always drives me crazy. It's like, you don't even deserve to have that choice.
Right. And has sampled both. I'm just saying.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Waters and Queen PR dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love.
Welcome back to Loving Them Gates. I am Queen PR.
Brian H. Waters here.
You see why I'm smiling so hard?
Why?
Because we just finished watching an episode of Beyond the Gates. Our YouTube channel is cooking. Our gatekeepers are really fucking with the content.
Yeah, they are.
Shout out to everyone that has been tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we are going to keep bringing you more and more Beyond the Gates content. So today we are doing a deep dive on I'm going to say Tom Navarro, but that's an actual person. Like a real celebrity. Tomas Novarro on Beyond the Gates. We are looking into his character, who I always was very suspicious about from day one. There was always something about him that just didn't click for me. I was like, he doesn't seem authentic. I feel like he's going to be one of those characters that's going to have an ulterior motive. And I think we've seen as the show has gone on that he is kind of sketchy, in my opinion.
Nah, he is. He's somebody where, like, he wouldn't be in my circle, right? If I look at the show, actually, I don't think any of the men would be in my circle. Like, I'd be the one who cool with all the ladies, not in the sense of like trying to bag them, but like they would just be my homies, and I would be like, nah, stay away from him. But especially Thomas, maybe Jacob. Jacob is cool. He do some crazy things. Not a good detective, but he cool.
Jacob is cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Tomas. I don't trust him. I wouldn't want him nowhere near my sister, cousin, friend, maybe even worse enemy.
No, I completely agree with you. So I was looking up photos of him for the thumbnail, and almost every photo like looks the same. And a lot of gatekeepers on Facebook talk about how he's like a little dry. And he can be taken as a little on the dry side, especially when like every photo of him looks the same. But then I also learned that sometimes that is intentional, because then we see peeks into like who they really are. Like with Vernon Dupree, like I always felt like he was too like, I'm old grandpa and I'm supposed to be this like powerful patriarch. Especially after watching a show like Greenleaf, where the patriarch of that family definitely was very domineering, and you kind of expect that, but then you see peaks, especially when Anita's not around. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to judge how Tomas is coming off right now, because we've seen peaks of his personality.
Yeah, we have, you know, and the thing is, like, I look at him and yeah, he can be so annoying, but I never thought he was dry. I always just thought he was like underlying conniving. And we'll get into that. Matter of fact, let's get right into it.
Let's get into it. So he is played by Alex Alegria. And he is described as the extremely handsome and supremely confident attorney. That is the character of Tomas. Do you feel that he gives that off?
I think it describes how Tomas thinks about Tomas. I think it's a very accurate depiction, and for some reason, our good friend Kat Richardson feels the same way. We mentioned on the deep dive episode where we talked about Kat always, right? Looking for her Barack. And everything that describes is what she sees in Tomas. So I think it's accurate. I don't think a lot of other people would, because like just even looking at Chelsea, she's like, man, you sweating over him? Like, girl, let's go the other
Right.
guys.
Exactly. When I was looking details about Tomas, like it was a lot of things that I kind of like missed about him. So he served in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So that could also explain his like kind of cold, not cold, but like a little stiff of a demeanor, very professional, and that was how he funded law school. So he's not privileged. He's not from beyond the gates. Him and Kat couldn't have been raised any differently. And so he's still
Mm-hmm.
kind of he has to work for a living. Let's put it that way. He's still trying to like make his way in the world. It's kind of how I would categorize Tomas, which is why I think he's always going to choose status in these situations as opposed to maybe how he really feels, aka Kat over Eva.
Yeah, and the thing is that always drives me crazy. It's like he don't even deserve to have that choice.
Right. And
Like,
has sampled both. I'm just saying,
well, technically, he did more than sample. He had the
he
whole
got
meal.
lucky. He got lucky,
Yeah.
but he knows what both be like, and if when he needs to make a decision, he can actually compare everything. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, if he was making that decision, then he would clearly go with Eva because she make him feel good, stroke his ego.
Yeah,
Because he's
yeah,
still
and
trying to
that and
figure
that's
Cat
what.
out.
Yep. And she loves him.
Mm.
Like, I want to know from the ladies, men too. Can you love someone and be in a relationship with them if they don't please you in bed?
Mm.
I think that is a valid question because I feel like for some people that could be a deal breaker. And it seemed like with Tomas and Kat, it just wasn't clicking, but with Tomas and Eva, it was clicking. Why do you feel? And we've talked about it on other shows. You mentioned our deep dive on Kat. We also did a deep dive on Eva as well, and you can't help but mention Tomas. And when you talk about them, but why do you think Eva is a better pairing for Tomas?
Well, a lot of things, right? And we could go before the even sex part. I think what made the sex so good for them is because there's that emotional connection. Like you mentioned before, him having to work for everything, that was key. Him coming, just like out of the mud to get to where he was. And then their connection with the books, like she said, oh, which is single
Yeah,
book club. But yeah, even that, like having common interests
right,
is
right,
it takes you a long way. So I think that's why. So then boom, when they hooked up, slam dunk. I think
right.
before, outside the fact that Kat was a virgin, I think
Mhm.
it just proved how far apart they was, because if you remember, before they even went there, it was never about, like, their conversations was hardly ever about how they felt about each other. All their
Right,
conversations was about him trying to stop her from being so mean to Eva.
right, right. And a lot of their conversations mostly were about Eva.
Mm-hmm.
And with Kat, it feels forced.
Yep.
It feels like, you know what, this might be my ticket.
Exactly.
She's beautiful, she's smart. And I'm not saying that Tomas is not looking at Kat as a, as not like a catch, as like a beautiful woman, because she is, but also if you think about kind of like where you could benefit in your career, Kat is the right choice. I also want to remind people that Bill did have a couple of conversations with Tomas, especially when Bill was beefing with the Duprees, where he was like, "Yo, I see that you're close to one of the family members. I'm gonna need you to kind of look out for me a little bit and kind of keep me updated of things that I need to know that's going on with the family." So in his mind, Tomas, you mentioned it in previous episode, wants to be the next Bill Hamilton. It was easy for Eva to gas him up in that one episode where she wanted him to do something for her legally and was like,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it, you're working under him. That's where Tomas's head is. He's ambitious. I think
Yeah.
his path, his motives are is status, and he's going to do whatever he can do to get there. The problem is, um and I mentioned it also before, I think him and Kat are going to stay together, and I think they're going to be together forever, and I think they're going to be fucking miserable. But he can't help but fight that connection with Eva because they have so much in common.
You just unlocked the memory. You unlocked the trigger. Because
Mm.
you're right. He is, I forgot. Bill did say, I need you to keep an eye right there. But when you brought up the fact that Eva was gassing him up, and you remember we talked about that. Like, she came dolled up. She was a 20 out of 10, and he's seen her a way he's never seen her before. Yeah, and she was like, "But you, Tomas, you could be the next Bill Hamilton." I just had the wildest thought.
What?
There's a wild card. Haley. And we talk about Tomas being a villain. What more would he be more of a villain if Haley and Bill been having their issues, and he slipped and went that way because he got so much over his britches, and he is Tomas, because now he done knocked Eva down, he done knocked Kat down, and guys like him, it's all about climbing, right? I've heard ladies say, especially on the West Coast, will say stuff like, or in affluent areas, right? They say, yeah, once they get with a guy, this girl or a woman of this status, now it's like, oh, okay, I got this. Oh, now I can go up the ladder, and I can keep going up the ladder.
Right.
What if you remember Haley tried to make Bill jealous? What if Bill and she gets so sick of this whole thing with Andre and Danny, and maybe Bill and Dan, maybe they do break up, or maybe they go on a break. What if he cheats on Kat with Haley?
Ooh, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put it past him because, like you said, his head is only getting bigger and bigger. And then Chelsea telling him that Kat still loves him, and Kat is probably gonna end up. So he's gonna be gassed up, and I wouldn't be surprised if him and Haley ended up they're closer in age. Again, they have a little bit more in common. Not being born behind those gates, of having to kind of fight for everything that they have and stuff like that. Again, have a little bit more in common with them. Just thinking of more in the professional side, because it's easy to get into the Eva and Kat stuff, but on the professional side, he does take his career very seriously. Do you see him becoming a partner and at some point maybe even being Bill's adversary?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I do think he's going to be, I think he's going to rise up to the ranks. He's ambitious, I think he do, because I don't think him and Bill really crossed that part yet where because Bill called out Haley for it. But I don't think he's ever said, hey, Tomas, by the way, what you did, don't get caught up in my wife's BS. I'm not sure. Maybe he did. But I do believe that he will rise up to the occasion, and that's what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready for that. I'm excited for that. I am glad that he is proving me right. Because I knew there was something shady about him, and he has shown his true colors numerous times. When he lied to, first of all, if you have a girlfriend, you shouldn't be in some girl hotel room that you like. Him and Eva were definitely going to have sex another time in her room where Kat caught them. Is he the villain of the show? And I think I would say that he is, of the simple fact that you are playing with these two women's emotions. You are playing both sides of the fence. You are not resisting on any way. Like, and at no point did he take Kat's feelings about Eva into consideration, as in, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be in this girl's face. If this girl that I want to pursue a relationship with hates this girl, sister or not, whatever, I shouldn't be talking to her too much. Am I going to sit here and dog her out with you and talk shit about her all day with you? No. But do I need to be as close with her as I am? No. And it's because he can't help himself. And also, he doesn't care because he likes the attention. Like, let's be real here.
And you know what? The thing is, I really you bring up, is he the villain? I think not only is he the villain, I think he's the biggest villain. I think he's a bigger villain than Leslie. Leslie, where she's coming from.
That's true.
Joey Armstrong, you don't trust nobody like him. Tomas is the biggest villain because of the fact that he goes around acting like, as my mother would say, like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He walks around like he's the epitome. Like he is when they all surrounded him, all the men in Kat's family said, look, just a reminder, the fact that he had no regards for that moment and he still betrayed her, like, and then going to say, I wasn't sure we were together no more.
Bro,
I was just like, come on now.
Okay, so we break up for 2 seconds. The first thing you do is eat my sister? Like, regardless if we broke up or had an argument, like, it literally took you to... So I didn't answer a couple phone calls. And that's what you do?
Yep.
Come on. And then also... Kat going there to make peace with Eva, which is something that Tomas has been asking her to do forever. Yeah. So it's really just like a situation that is, so unfortunate. And I cannot wait to, a year from now, 6 months from now, do a second deep dive on Tomas's character, because you hit it on the head. Potentially what could happen in his professional relationship with Bill Hamilton, like that could be something that blows up. Haley, Kat, there's so much that can still happen with his character, and I hope we see more. I do want to see a little bit more range from him. Like, I want to meet somebody. I think I mentioned this to you before. Like, I want to meet other people in Tomas's circle. Like, I want to know who he is outside of who he's trying to be in Fairmont Crest. Like, I think with him showing his tattoos, like, we were supposed to see, like, ooh, okay, he's like edgy under the suit. But I want to see, like, I want to meet his parents. I want to meet his friends. I want to meet people he went to high school with. Like, those are the people I want to see kind of come in, and we see a little bit. Where does he live? Hopefully more than a bedroom. But I want to see, like, where he lives. I would love
Did you see somebody in one of the gatekeeper communities said, like, why is he always having sex on the couch?
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah, I think the one time him and Kat did in that bedroom, because when in the hotel,
and I remember her waking up on the side of the bed, like,
because she looked, and I remember just like,
thing.
it was just given, like, this is all you. I hate to say, but this is all you worth. Yeah, I'm gonna put together this little dinner for you, but this is what you're worth. It was weird.
Very, very. But yeah, I'm very excited to see, like, what comes next for him. Gatekeepers, give us your thoughts on Tomas's character. What were your first impressions? Has he met your expectations? Do you think he's the villain of the show? Will he end up with Kat? We want to know how y'all feeling about all of that. We also want to know what else you want us to cover in the Beyond the Gates universe. We have done some deep dives already. If you haven't checked them out, please do. They are all linked in the description. Hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications. Join our Facebook page, Loving Them Gates, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.